There's something hypnotic about the way light catches on the surface of an old inkwell, like it's holding a secret that time forgot to erase. It's not just ink. It's a portal to a world where words shimmered like jewels and stories were written in color. They didn't just write, they painted with the ink, and the result was nothing short of magical. It's a world where the boundaries between the sacred and the beautiful blur, and every page feels like a whispered promise. Inkwell's iridescent imagery wasn't just decoration. It was a way to make the divine feel tangible. So what exactly are we talking about? It's not just ink. It's a whole world of color, light, and meaning, captured in a single drop. These are not just colors, they're symbols. Red signifies passion, blue represents the heavens, and gold is the divine. Every hue has a story. And then there's the gold leaf. It's not just gold. It's a bridge between the material and the sacred. A single leaf can be ground into powder and then brushed onto the page like stardust. These pigments were made by hands that knew their craft, by people who saw color not just as decoration, but as a language of the soul. This is not just art. It's a kind of alchemy, transforming earth and fire into something that can outlive time itself. You might not realize it, but every time you read a story, you're standing in the shadow of a 1,000-year-old tradition that shaped the way we see the world. These manuscripts didn't just tell stories, they painted them, and in doing so, they taught us how to look at the world with wonder and care. When you see a rainbow in a modern design, or feel a spark of imagination in your own work, you're walking in the footsteps of those who once believed that color and light could change the way we think. To ignore the legacy of these illuminated pages is to miss a profound connection between the past and the way we create, think, and dream today. You don't have to be an art historian to feel the pull of this history. You just have to look closely enough to see that beauty and meaning are still being made, with ink and with light. The first flicker of inkwell light comes from the monastic scriptoriums of the early Middle Ages, where scribes etched meaning into vellum with patience and reverence. By the 9th century, the inkwell had grown into a symbol of both creation and spiritual transcendence, its contents a portal between the mundane and the divine. By the 12th century, the inkwell had become a canvas of color, its surface reflecting the wealth of knowledge and the artistry of an age that saw the written word as both truth and beauty. The Gothic era transformed the inkwell into a spectacle, its iridescent sheen a metaphor for the divine light that guided the scribes as they wrote the word into being. As the Renaissance dawned, the inkwell's iridescence gave way to more naturalistic hues, yet its essence remained, a bridge between the earthly and the eternal. And so, the inkwell's iridescent imagery endured, not just as decoration, but as a quiet testament to the enduring power of the written word. Imagine a dragon made of light, its scales shimmering like the ocean at sunset. That's what inkwells used to do in old books. The ink didn't just write, it danced. It made words feel like magic, like they could jump off the page and fly away. Every time you read a book, you're seeing a little bit of that magic. It's like the page is whispering to you in colors. Ink wasn't just for writing. It was for wonder. It made the world feel bigger, brighter, and full of secrets. To begin, the scribe gathers a range of pigments, each ground to a fine powder and mixed with a binding agent. These colors, often derived from minerals, plants, or even crushed insects, are stored in small glass vials or metal containers, ready for use. The ink is then prepared by grinding the pigments with a small amount of water and a binding agent like egg white or gum arabic. This creates a smooth, viscous liquid that can be poured into the inkwell or used directly from the mortar. Next, the inkwell itself is chosen, a carved wooden vessel, often made from olive or boxwood, with a narrow spout designed to allow precise control over the flow of ink. These vessels are often inscribed with symbols or coats of arms, marking their use and origin. The scribe places the inkwell on a flat, stable surface, often near the edge of the writing desk or on a small stand, to ensure it remains upright and the ink flows evenly without spilling. Finally, the scribe adjusts the position of the inkwell so that the flow of ink is steady and the color remains vibrant. This setup ensures that every stroke of the quill is imbued with the richness of the pigment, setting the stage for the creation of illuminated art. Now, the ink is prepared, but the real magic begins when the artist selects the right tool. A quill, usually made from a goose or a crow's feather, is the instrument of choice. Its tip is sharpened, and the nib is often trimmed to create a fine pointed edge. The quill is dipped into the inkwell, and with a steady hand, the scribe lifts it to the parchment. The ink flows in a smooth, dark stream, but the real art is in the control of the pressure and the angle of the quill. The quill is then lifted, and the scribe may pause or shift position to create a space. The ink settles on the page, its dark color contrasting with the pale parchment. Each stroke is intentional, each line a step toward the intricate world of illuminated art. As the scribe continues, the quill may be dipped again, and the process repeats. This is a dance of precision and patience, a rhythm that guides the creation of the Illuminated Manuscripts' most delicate and enduring imagery. The final step is the clever twist that transforms simple ink into something magical. The artist knows that the ink needs to be infused with a secret ingredient. This ingredient isn't just color, it's a material that interacts with light, creating a depth that only reveals itself when viewed from the right angle. This is the art of illusion, where the eye is guided by the light, and the image seems to breathe with the flicker of the candle or the sun. In this moment, the ink is not just color. It's a portal to another world, a secret language only the eye can read when it is still, and the light is right. Beneath the art, there is a science, a quiet alchemy of light and pigment. The ink, once ground from minerals and plants, holds secrets in its very structure. These inks, made from materials like walnut and iron gall, react with light in ways that defy the eye. They don't just fade, they shift, revealing hues only under the right angle. The gold leaf, so often mistaken for mere ornaments, is a crystalline structure that refracts light like a prism. It's not just decoration, it's a mirror of the light that once danced through these pages. Even the vellum itself plays a role, its texture and thickness influencing how light interacts with the ink. It's a dance of material and illumination, a kind of silent conversation between the medium and the message. So when we look at these manuscripts, we're not just seeing art, we're seeing the result of centuries of experimentation, of material science and spiritual vision entwined. Think of an illuminated manuscript like a stained glass window, not in the way it catches light, but in how it refracts it. Every angle, every surface, a different hue. The ink isn't just black, it's a prism, holding the light in its depths, waiting for the right angle to reveal its true colors. This is not artifice, but revelation. Color not imposed, but discovered, like light emerging from a darkened room. So, yes, it's dumb, but in its dumbness, it's profoundly accurate. Because it doesn't just show light, it makes it visible. Before you go, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to make next. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.